I'm finna crash out. Can't get rid of me, that's what they really mad about.
Crash out, crash out, crash out!
Crashout, the sitcom.
Welcome back. We are back with another episode of Crashout, the sitcom. I am your host, TIO VILE.
This your boy A Omega with the funky dope flavor.
Today's going to be a really cool show. It's kind of like a defining episode, if you will. Let me see. Let me adjust my mic real quick. I'm going to put it a little bit better for me. All right, cool. Today's episode 8, is called Hollywood Secrets, Rap Wars, and New Mexico's Bizarre Mysteries.
Okay.
Ooh, sounds like something's ready. It looks like we're ready. All right.
We're ready.
The episode outline of the Crashout the sitcom saucy updates roundup is brought to you today by where do we go for our bud this week, Chris?
Man, well, we went to multiple places there. I mean, we was kind of looking for some good deals. We were looking for some, something reasonable.
Yeah, I went to Cookies. You know, I got a couple ounces for a couple $100.
Gotta say, shout out to the Cookies team there. You know what I mean?
It was a new brand. It was like something from Carlsbad. I don't know. We smoke a lot, so we roll a lot. So I always try to buy ounces or two.
That's what we do.
This one is actually pretty good. We got a what is it? Larry Walker OG, and then
Larry Walker.
the Joker is the other one.
The Joker,
and that
okay.
one's like Bernie Hanna butter crossed with Gary Payton or some shit like that.
Okay, nice. Well, it's nice to see there that they're still exploring.
Yeah, how you doing this week, A Omega?
Man, been doing good, man, for sure. Just getting back on my getting back to in tune with me, you know what I mean? So that way I don't crash out on everybody during the week. Just been keeping it real chill there. Had a real nice Saturday. Did some meditation, some looking into my personal life there and figuring out what I need to do and learning how to control my triggers.
Meditation is important. Self-reflection is always a good thing. So yeah, good deal, man.
I'm trying, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's hard for us as men to get out there and really, put ourselves in some awkward positions there. So, I feel like most of us there, the only thing that we can do is really learn in solitude.
Yeah, definitely. Today we're going to start the episode off with the ghost story of the week. I kind of want to start doing this where we're
going to start it off first there, huh?
Yeah, we're just
okay.
I want to talk about ghosts for a second. Have you ever had any ghostly experiences, A Omega?
There's been one time there, yeah. I was at my house, you know what I mean, out in the P. And, it was about 1:30 at night, you know what I mean? Just kind of chilling. I was out there, doing what I do, having a smoke of some sort, you know what I mean? And nobody was around. Everybody was out of town, you know what I'm saying? It was just me on the porch solo. I did have a couple cocktails in me there. And I just saw this white kind of ghostly figure entity, you know what I mean? Like, I was on the porch, so I could see it, like, down the stairs and, just kind of right there in between, a couple of my bay windows on my home.
That's crazy that you would say that because the ghost story of the week actually happens to be the lady in white of France.
Are you serious?
She's from France.
Okay.
So I it's kind of like, do you think everyone in the planet has their own white lady that walks around, like lady in white that walks around, like this weird entity that walks around? Like we have La Llorona. My brother brought that up. It was
right.
Good point. It was like the France version of La Llorona, right?
Okay. I got you there. I mean, I think that there's similar lore all over every culture.
Well, it says this. It says, drive down a deserted rural road in France late at night, and you might encounter a chilling apparition known as La Dame Blanche.
Okay.
This spectral figure is typically described as a pale woman dressed in, flowing white garments, mysteriously hitchhiking. Okay. The legend warns, if you stop for her, a fatal crash is said to follow. In some versions, she vanishes when you reach the place of her death, leaving drivers shaken or worse. What do you think?
That's kind of like You know, a couple weeks ago we were
Tell
talking
them
about
Large Marge sent you.
Well, the tell them Large Marge sent you there. Long, lonely Pee-wee Herman there. Large Marge been dead for 20 years. No, but La Dama de Blanche there. Yeah, that's crazy. Fatal Crash, though, you know, it's said to follow.
It says when you take her to the place that she
To her
wants you to take her
destination.
to, yeah, that's when you guys,
It
you
just-
know, come into contact with a fatal crash, I guess.
That's, or she vanishes when you reach the place.
You
of her
crash
death.
and she's gone, yeah.
What?
Yeah. A lot of that going on this week.
So you're riding with the ghost, or you're picking up the ghost, and you're like feeding into the energy
yeah.
or the entity's presence there. Oh man, no. Shit, I learned from back in the day. I'm old school folks there. We don't pick up hitchhikers,
Nah. Never.
especially there with so many prisons out here where we live. We don't pick up hitchhikers there. So with that being said, there, nope, not your boy Ao.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to France. We got our own. We got La Llorona. You guys got La Dame Blanche. I bet
got you.
Irish has La Dame Roja. You know what I mean? I don't know. There could be all kinds of different shit out there.
Right.
So let's see. Let's get into it. You ready?
I'm down. Let's go.
What's our first conspiracy? Theories in the wild.
Ooh.
What is it?
Chemtrails and weather control.
All right. Go ahead. Read it.
All right, there. So once Nietzsche theory has now reached lawmakers there, Republican figures like Florida's AG there, you know, Attorney General there, James Utenmeyer there, claims geoengineering and cloud seeding could be the blame for the deadly floods there. You know what I mean? Through scientists say there's zero evidence there.
As they will.
Yeah, always there. Several U.S. states have introduced or have passed bills to ban these weather modification programs, despite mainstream dismissal. The theory has infiltrated legislative, discourse.
Discourse.
Discourse there. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I'm a little bit.
No, I'm gonna have
I
you.
read
I'm gonna
just a
have you
little
read
bit.
these because no, I'll get into it later.
I got you.
I did have an accident. No, I didn't shit my pants or piss my pants, but I had an accident last week where I busted both my lips and I lost a few teeth. So until I get that Hollywood smile, I will only be reading on the mic. I will not be looking towards the camera. So I will be having A Omega read some of these, these segments.
This is what we do. You know what I mean? We are adaptable. You know what I mean? We gotta, just do what we gotta do for.
But chemtrails, weather control, we've definitely seen this. AO, we've seen that cloud machine, right, where the guy he has like the biggest vaporizer in the world. It makes clouds, like literally just makes huge ass clouds, pumps them into the sky. There's other weather modification things that are going on, such as the chemtrails. They say it controls
Right.
The clouds after that.
I mean, I
weather.
heard other countries are doing this there. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get into it as far as like the UAE.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen, they're saying that there's, in some of these deserts now there's grass growing. You know what I mean? Hence, saying the prophecy, or you know what I mean, for their religion and what their beliefs are. It's interesting there. You know what I mean? Making it rain. And there is some kind of weather manipulation going on, and it has been for a very long time.
And it said that it's causing deadly floods, right? Like some of the ones that we've probably seen in
Texas,
Rio Doso. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to that a little bit later too.
and it's just continuing, you know what I mean? And it's just so erratic now, hurricanes, all that other stuff. But yeah, moving on, folks.
All right, go ahead. False flag fever.
Okay. The term false flag is exploding on social media there. Up over 1,000% there. And let me get back to it there. Up over 1,000% over the past 5 years, and surging 350% between April and June 25th. It's become a default lens through which many views major events there, from natural disasters to political moments. Analysts warn this trend breeds polarization and dehumanization there, especially when paired with anti-Semitism and radicalized distrust there. So, with that being said, we just the radicalists there also are just like, we're going to do it our way.
Yeah, and a lot of false flags are thrown, you know what I mean? So, and some are for good, some are for bad, some are true, like they say, to do political discourse and throw people off, if you will.
Yep.
I don't know. I've never really been in a situation where we've seen like false flagging happening right in front of us, you know what I'm saying? But they're saying that this happens in every industry, politics, Hollywood, whatever.
Right. And anything that really makes a substantial amount of money, you know.
All
It's
right.
not going to be with the little guys. You know what I'm saying? No, they're going after, you know, Procter and Gamble or Johnson and Johnson, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's where it's at there for sure.
All right, moving along.
All right, there, folks. There, Baby Emmanuel Haro, a tragedy or a hoax? In California,
This is crazy.
an investigation into a missing baby Emmanuel Haro, last seen August 14th, took a darker turn when authorities arrested his parents for suspected homicide. Conspiracy theorists have latched onto, gaps in evidence. You know, no public birth records, no baby pictures there, might never have existed. Meanwhile, the official investigation has shifted to suspected homicide. You know,
So basically, what happened is this baby was reported missing, right?
Amber Alert. Yep.
yeah.
Got you.
Emmanuel Haro. But then the parents were suspected of the homicide, but there's no public birth records, no baby pictures. So they're speculating that the kid maybe never existed and that they called this for maybe, I don't know, some kind of funding. I don't know why they would do this, but they pretty much called themselves out, you know, like my kid's gone, my kid's dead. And like, did you even really have this kid? Is what the internet is speculating. What do you think, Ao?
I mean, in some of these other cities that I've seen there too, there's always a go fund little Daniela or little Daniel, or you know what I mean? Something with that. And, you know, a lot of these folks that are, you know, doing these kind of, median, money merchandising or fundraising there, a lot of them are foreigners. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm thinking, again, too, Emmanuel Haro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it could be a scam that a foreigner has already set up. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy there. I mean, you just got to watch out. And they might not even be, let's say, Latino. They might not, you know what I mean? They might be from the Middle East.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, just because of the name says that doesn't mean that that's what their ethnic background is per se. People play on people's heartstrings all the time.
Right.
And, that's why, again, keep your heart 3 stacks. You know what I mean? Believe in your gut.
If he
because
did
it's the
pass
right
away,
one.
rest in peace. If he never existed,
or little-
it's
yeah.
messed up that people would go to lengths like this to get money or to get the attention of.
Yeah, using somebody, somebody that's unalived, or maybe passed on like that. There
Or never
and-
existed.
And used, or just, found a picture and made this guy's, this entity of this kid's existence name. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, it's very, very twisted. Very twisted there.
Let's move on to some stuff that we do know. Hollywood and celeb conspiracies. Let's go ahead and go off of that, Ao.
So we're talking epigenetic reflections there. 19th century painting is a warning there for sure. So recently there, the Washington Post cultural piece explores how a 1948 painting dubbed their Politics in an Oyster House there.
I'll put up the picture in editing.
Early captures modern conspiracy culture. Its deception of a fervent young man pushing outlandish ideas is seen as a prophetic there, connecting historical suspicion there, you know what I mean? Suspicion, excuse me there. JFK, 9/11, Epstein, all in parentheses, but today's social media enabled paranoia.
So yeah, I don't know. It kind of goes back to the last episode, right? Where we're talking about where we've seen things in other paintings like the iPhone or the iPhone camera. This one specifically is depicting the shift in the culture of what's going to be happening in 2025. They said that it has subliminal meaning of Epstein, 9/11, and JFK and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to.
That's some time traveler stuff. Like, how did you know?
Yeah,
How the fuck did you know?
I honestly think I honestly think a lot of this shit's true. You know, you never know what the plan was back then and what it is for the next few years up until something drastic happens.
Everybody has a plan for their family,
and we all have
especially
to
if they're prosperous.
meet the maker, if you will, or whatever.
Yep, got you there for sure. So yeah, that's pretty interesting there with that whole thing. I can't wait to see what actually the painting looks like there for sure. Okay, moving on next there. Diddy's legal blitz there. Oh man, Diddy back up on the conversation, folks there. All right there, folks. So Sean Diddy Combs remains behind bars after
Yes.
prostitution convictions there, despite being acquitted on more severe sex trafficking and racketeering charges. His legal team is now aggressively suing individuals like Chris Todd and court stemming from a pooled memoir, as well as NBC Universal and Peacock over a documentary about Kim Porter's death. You know, the aim, at least $100 million in damages and maybe a presidential pardon. Through this, lawyers are tight-lipped on that front. So,
Yeah. I think he's probably, I don't know, if he's really tight with like this whole sex trafficking thing and Epstein, who knows? He could probably get pardoned. But then again, if Trump is actually going after the people that are doing this shit, then he might not. You know what I mean? So it's like a catch 50-50, or what is it, catch 20?
man, this hope I don't even know. I have no words.
All I know is he's in there
man.
and everybody's dropping dope music, and I think that's some of the dopest shit. You sent me a reel the other day on, it said Wu-Tang was blackballed specifically by P. Diddy on their upcoming because
that Triumph.
Because of Triumph and how big that record could have been if it was played everywhere, and it still got worldwide recognition. Like, it still didn't stop nothing.
Well, you remember
Wu-Tang
that
is for
year,
the
right?
kids.
What came out that year there? His No Way Out album, right? With all of his artists, right? Black Rob, you know what I'm saying? He just acquired the Locks.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? And that was, the Diddy, had the anthem for Pac. I mean, not for Pac, for Biggie, right?
Right.
With Faith Evans, every step I take. So, I mean, yeah, of course. What did you hear more? That or the Woo? Definitely heard more of that.
Oh, yeah. That song took over.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe it.
All right. Hip-hop, beef, and drama. Go ahead. I'm going to let you take the front on this. You like Joey Badass. I think he's cool. I have nothing against him.
I've liked Joey even before he started doing the power shit there, but let's get into it there. So, hip-hop, beef, and drama there. Joey Badass and the West Coast Diss War. Joey Badass has called his lyrical spat with West Coast rappers, playful.
Playful.
It was never meant to come for them, he says, but remind everyone that New York City got something to say to.
Ooh.
Still, artists like Rayvon and Daylight there fired back.
Yeah.
Daylight there fired back diss tracks there. Joey's album Lonely at the Top is slated for release there August 29th. They're coming up in a couple days there. You know what I'm saying? That should be actually on Friday.
That's when we drop this episode, so it drops today.
There we go.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Joey Badass there, you know what I mean? He's just got a different swing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I have nothing against Joey Badass, right? And don't get me wrong, any of the hip-hop heads. It's just what I hear from Joey Badass is kind of like what I've already heard from, like, Lupe Fiasco and who else?
You got to remember, he is a little younger.
Yeah.
He is a little younger.
Like, maybe even, like, the rhyme style of, like, Q-Tip or something like that. But, like, it's not outstanding to me. You know what I mean?
Like, pop for you.
Yeah, it's not nothing that's out of the normal, out of the ordinary.
Right.
It's just a guy spitting a bunch of bars. You know what I mean? And it's cool, but I can't think of one song that I put on from Joey Badass that just like kept me there. I think maybe the finals or whatever, the finale or whatever he did was a diss track that came out recently for. I think he was dissing Rayvon and Daylight, the one that's talking about right now. But I think that's the only song I really sat there this year in the past couple years where I was just like,
Maybe.
maybe, yeah. I don't know. It just didn't do nothing for me.
No, I got you. Didn't resonate.
Yeah.
Got you there for sure. Moving on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This is the crash out there. We say whatever the fuck we want there. You know what I mean? It's just one thing that we do. This is how we kick it. This is how we get it there for sure. Yeah, but we're gonna check in now there with something a little bit more familiar for sure.
RZA.
All right, there. So RZA weighs in Godzilla versus King Kong. RZA's take on the Drake versus Kendrick saga, a playful comparison to Godzilla versus King Kong.
That's a good comparison.
You know, he's seen beefs like this as healthy sport for hip hop as long as they stay lyrical and don't turn violent there.
And I agree. And honestly, Drake, you're already a pussy. You've already tried to send somebody to try to kill Kendrick at the hotel. You already, you know, you have your whole crew, like the whole crowd chanting "fuck Kendrick," but it's not going to stop what has already been started, and that is to make people realize that hip hop is definitely coming back to the forefront, and it has nothing to do with formatting a hit or a radio single to keep your relevance in hip hop. It's going to be bars and metaphors and something like we're talking about, something more outstanding and outlandish and out of the ordinary.
It's going to be thought
stuff
provocative.
we never heard before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's a good comparison, honestly.
Yeah, I mean both of them gentlemen there have you know,
Who do you think's
big backing, very big egos. You know what I'm saying?
Who won? Who won the battle ultimately?
Oh, don't ask me that. There, you.
No.
son of a gun.
Between Godzilla and King Kong. Who won?
Oh shit, I don't even remember, dog. I've always been a King Kong fan, but I know, man. Me and my pops used to always rock with the Godzilla movies back in the day. So
I got a picture. I got a picture from your dad right here on the wall. Godzilla.
That's right. That's right. You know what I mean? You got the yen for monsters.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna move on right now, folks.
Moving along. This is actually a good one right here. Before we get into the good, bad, and the ugly, watch. Go ahead and name this old school regret off.
All right.
Old school regret.
For sure. All right, there, folks. There. So what we're talking about there is old school beef there for sure. So the Paul Wall on Chameleonaire beef.
Do you remember this shit when they were beefing?
I remember watching the CD there. You know, seeing the CD there, and talking to a couple cats there that were from Houston. Again, it was early 2000s there, so I wasn't really put on until they really started banging out. You know what I mean? To when they actually made a name for themselves. I really didn't know them as an underground group duo. But you know, Paul Wall there with his opening up about his regrets with this beef with Chameleonaire.
Right.
You know, one that began in the early 2000s and fractured their creative partnership. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's fucked up. You know, because
some of the best songs that came out of
together.
Houston with both of them on it, right? And they were both in a crew before they started the, you know, going solo route. If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's true. They were the crew.
And it was just sad to see that they split up. And it was probably over money, probably over some show money or some royalty cut or some shit. You know what I mean? But they're both doing really good right now. I know Chameleonaire is doing stuff in the Silicon Valley.
He's in the tech world, man.
And Paul Wall is definitely still selling grills and selling records. And
man, doing his shit with DJ Fresh. You know, some of the newest stuff right now.
Yeah, that new album's sick.
He's just tapped in right now. He's actually, you know what I feel about Wall is that he's reinventing himself to get the second time around.
Second wind.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he started off in his 20s. Now he's in his 40s. Like,
second go, yeah.
Let's do this. You know what I mean? Hey, I've invested myself in my 30s, you know, possibly have children. You know, it goes down like that. So it was like, okay, you know. But initially there, you know, back to what we're talking about, the beef there, was because he notes that what goes on disc records can't be taken back. Because you put it out there.
You've already
in the
said
timeline,
it,
in the nexus of life.
You said it. It's done. It's you can't take it back, and it's true. You know, we've had diss records against, you know, certain rappers that we've had beef with or whatever, and then I even regret mentioning one of their sisters because then she ended up passing away a couple years after that. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to really be careful about what you say on track, and we're gonna take a break right quick, and after that, we're gonna get back to the good, the bad, and the ugly of New Mexico. So let's do that.
Stay tuned there. You are watching the Crashout there.
All right, and we're back with Crashout, the sitcom, episode 8. I'm your boy TIO Vile.
And this your boy A Omega with the funky dope flavor, you know what I mean? Coming to you there, you know what I mean? Thank you for staying tuned in with us there, you know what I mean? Right back to it there, you know, right where we left off. We're going to ghostly footprints at White Sands.
Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and bizarre New Mexico.
Yeah, we got you right now, folks.
So for the good, what do we got?
Researchers have confirmed that human footprints discovered at White Sands National Park date back 21,000 to 23,000 years ago, making some of them the oldest evidence of human activity in North America, pushing back the timeline by about 10,000 years.
Okay.
Compared to previous benchmarks there, this finding, backed by robust radiocarbon dating from multiple labs and different materials, rewrites a key chapter in the continent's prehistory.
What do you think that means, AO?
I mean, well, the Southwest here, I mean, we you know,
New Mexico were the first people on Earth?
when we go hiking there, you know what I mean, we see a bunch of evidence of water, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of these valleys in these mesas and some of these areas that we live in,
Right.
you know, like the Espanola Valley there, you know, the Pecos Valley, you know, places with a lot of mesas there, you know, there's a lot of evidence of, oceanic life there. You know, we see fossils all the time when we're hiking up there. So not real hard to fathom, you know what I mean? What we now call a little river there, you know what I mean, would cover the whole village back in the prehistoric times. So that's just kind of my little gist on that there for sure.
So do you think New Mexico is responsible for starting the population of the world or something?
No. I think we were just, you know, this area was a prime living area
For fucking cavemen?
for all of that.
And fucking cave women?
For all of that there, for all of those ones there, you know, just migrations of stuff. I mean, just because of the landscape there, the lush vegetation there, the optimal climate, they probably found it ideal to live here and, you know, to prosper and, you know what I mean? Like just readapt to their, you know, environment there. Plus, I mean, look at all the elk here and bear and, you know what I mean? A lot of animals, a lot of outdoor stuff there, you know what I'm saying? So, but as far as them making them some of the oldest evidence of human activity in North America, that's kind of hard to say, you know what I mean?
Well, we're kind of in the middle, though. You think like we're almost in the middle of the United States, almost. You know what I mean?
So let's think about it like this there. If all the continents were still one, again, back in the day, what was that called, right? Like Pangea or something, when like all the continents before
Pangea, wasn't it?
No, before they separated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe if that goes to that time frame, maybe I would consider that, you know, kind of linked in. But again,
But that'd be good, though, right? That's
you
why
know,
they put it as a
yeah.
good thing, because it could be that we are the ones that stemmed most of everything that's been populated after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can see that there too. I mean, just we're right in the middle between two major continents. You know what I'm saying? Mexico and the United States, or I should say
And
Mexico,
Canada.
and then and then Canada. You know,
Yeah.
the Great White North there for sure.
The Great White North. Then they brought all that white sands, and that's when people are walking through that shit right now.
Man, it be snowing up there like a mug. You know what it is. There, those winters are hell.
All right, let's move on to the bad of New Mexico.
Okay.
We talked about this earlier in the show.
Again, man, these folks just can't seem to get a break here in our state. You know what I mean? Deadly
Ruidoso.
flash floods in Ruidoso again. You know, August 8th there, devastating flash floods struck the mountain village of Ruidoso, triggered by heavy rains that caused Ruidoso to surge over 20 feet in floodwater there. The floods claimed 3 lives there, including 2 young children, and left at least 4 people injured, 4 people missing, Homes, bridges, roads were damaged and either or washed away, prompting massive rescue efforts there, including over 85 swift water rescues there. And
That's a lot.
and we always, we were talking about that in the other episodes again too. There, if
Well,
you
we were
guys,
talking about like the weather manipulation earlier. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like, do you think like maybe
20 feet,
all this shit that's going on with the weather manipulation? They talked about deadly floods.
man. I live up north there. I've never seen 20 feet. I've never seen the Pecos River go over 20 feet. I've never seen the Rio
Right.
Grande go over 20 feet.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's ridiculous there. And again, too, these folks cannot get a break there for some reason.
It's like we either have a lot of water that causes this kind of damage, or we have no water.
no water at all. Yeah, it just sprinkles on us and says like it's like if you're putting salt or pepper on your salad and that's it. You know what I mean? As far as like the raindrops or that, and then you just get the drenching of ranch from Dion's. Just and you're just like what?
That's disgusting.
I know, and that's why I had to put it in that context.
That's
there.
ugly.
They need a better water drainage system for that town. Like I said it before,
And we talked about that with the
they need
acequias
they
et
need
cetera.
that to divert all of that away from the homes and catch it to where it's fast flowing, where it takes it out there. So that way, there's a good notion. They need to catch like have a big catchment pond. You know what I mean? Just something to collect all of that there. That way, if they need to, they can scoop that up, use that in case they have another fire, and have it right there on a reserve for for the town to use. But again, Rio Doso there. Shout outs. We our prayers again to you guys. Just can't seem to catch a break, and we'll continue to help out. Us as New Mexicans to provide some kind of.
Yeah, much prayers to Rio Doso for sure.
That's crazy.
All right, moving along to the ugly of New Mexico.
Man, here we go again, folks. There we just, another shooting there. Campus shooting at UNM. A violent and troubling incident unfolded on July 25th, 2025 at the University of New Mexico's Albuquerque campus. 19-year-old allegedly under the influence of drugs shot and killed 14-year-old Michael Lamont there. And injured others, other individuals as well. The suspect fled, triggering a tense manhunt across the campus and into Los Lunas. There, he was later apprehended there. That triggered and sparked intensive debate over campus safety, gun control measures in New Mexico. My first thing when I saw this there, I was like, what is a 14-year-old kid doing on a college campus?
Right.
That's the first thing that triggered my brain. And then the second thing that triggered my brain when I heard that there, I said, maybe he was somebody's little brother and he had maybe he couldn't go home. Maybe he was, just being abused. Maybe he didn't have no place to go. That's what triggered me out,
Right.
tripped me out about the 14-year-old being on the campus.
And there was even that one at West Mesa High School just this week where the
With the
kid,
gun?
yeah, the kid was in class with a gun. The cops came in, had to apprehend him. The kid was pushing people around like, "What are you here? What are you here looking for?" Like, it's really hard to fathom that a lot of these kids that are 14, 13 and up
Need a gun.
are walking around with guns and just so much anger in their heart and so much retaliation in their soul. It's just really sad to see, and it's very ugly in New Mexico, and we really need to change the way that these kids are.
Their thought process.
Well, not only that, but how easy it is for them to access weapons and guns like this. You know what I'm saying? I know Albuquerque, New Mexico is like a hub, right? It's like the flea market of the United States, where you can pretty much find anything you want down here, and there needs to be stricter laws on that. Like, not the weed, you know what I mean? Like, leave the weed alone, but like, the guns and getting in the hands of these 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids.
How does that happen? You know what I mean? It trips me out.
I'm about to be 40 this year, and last year is like the year that I first owned my first gun. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a couple years before that. And it comes with a certain responsibility and mind state to be able to hold on to a gun and carry it with you all day. And it's all for emergency reasons, not for.
I would say that would be, you know what I mean? Not, you know what I mean? You're that's protection as opposed to intimidation at that point. You know what I mean? You use a gun to protect yourself or protect somebody that's doing harm to some other at some point. You know what I mean? To go out there and flash and bully with a gun and strong arm people, no, that's not flying. You know what I mean?
not at all.
Like, and then just to, shoot it because you are angry because you disagreed on something. Granted, the person under the influence of drugs probably didn't like what the person told him back there, couldn't handle what he was saying. Therefore, my thought process on that at the end is young kids don't have weapons that they don't even know how to use, and they're gonna end up paying for it at an early age, and by the time they realize it, they're not gonna know where their life went.
Too late.
And it's sad. You're gonna grow up really fast after that.
That's what makes it ugly. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucked up.
All right, let's go into the bizarre.
All righty there.
UFOlogy.
All right there. We're gonna heats up right now. The ufology there heats up there. Dulce based rumors in New Mexico strange show.
Dulce.
Alien lore is thriving once again in New Mexico at a recent Roswell UFO event. Conspiracy enthusiasts bragged about a secret 7-level alien base in Dulce.
Damn.
Part of the state's rich UFO folklore. Meanwhile, KRQE's news docu-series, New Mexico Strange, continues to captivate viewers with the deep dives into local mysteries and folklore, including legend-filled Bigfoot sightings.
They copied us.
Well, actually, I looked into this enough.
When did this come out?
I'm not gonna lie there.
When did New Mexico Strange come out?
I did just see a little thing of that there a couple of days.
Is that new?
I think possibly there that it was newer because it came on my reel. So I was thinking it probably came out on Friday night.
Yeah, everybody's
okay.
watching. We love it.
It's
Okay,
we're good.
fuck
we're
yeah.
good.
We're gonna definitely have to watch this and maybe
But
do a reaction video to this.
7-level alien base in Dulce.
And they say that the reason it's 7 levels is because not only the UFOlogy stuff that's going on, but it's also like the cloning and the all of these weird ass MK Ultra experimentals are gonna be going on. You know what I mean? Like that's what you got to
Different
really
levels
think
for
about.
different methods of manipulation.
Well, yeah. Remember we went to Jungle Boys and like it was like 7 stories and like one was the grow, one was the shop, one was the production, one was the merch, one was, you know what I'm saying? Right. One was where they make the hash, one was, one was the grow room, one was the drying room. Like, it's not hard to fucking fathom that the government does stuff like this in 10 times bigger fashion. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What are you talking to? The government doesn't lie to people.
Right. They tell us the truth every single time. Yeah.
What you talking about, man?
No, they're going to definitely have to spill the beans about Dulce, New Mexico pretty soon because I've definitely been hearing a lot about this facility and what comes in and what goes out of this facility. And we're definitely digging into this shit and we're inspiring a lot of people. And it's even gone to the...
Wake up!
To the length where, we're getting attacked in our sleeps and shit like that.
Yeah, the 5G there messing with my sleep pattern there for sure. I know once they start turning on that... that 5G up, you know what I mean? Hard for me to sleep at night. Yeah. And I even turn my Wi-Fi off. Yeah. That's the shit about it.
All I can say is you're welcome. That's all I can say.
Thank you there. I want a better phone.
No, not you. I'm talking to the viewers and everyone that's watching and being inspired by everything that we do here at Crashout the Sitcom.
We love y'all. We love
Blunt Kings. Now that we're caught up with Blunt Kings, it's gonna be fantastic because now we can go month by month and we're good. All I know is we're coming back stronger. We're coming back longer. We're coming back more uncut. This shit's gonna get crazier. I don't give a fuck.
More wild.
Let's take this shit balls to the walls, bro. If it kills us, it kills us, man. Let's do it.
And what don't kill us, make us stronger.
Oh, yeah.
You already know that there. Survivors don't lie. Survivors stay alive.
All right.
Straight up.
All right, well, that was the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I am your host, TIO VILE.
This your boy, Omega with the Funky Dope Flavor, reminding you to go like, subscribe, share, comment there if there's anything you want us to talk about there. We're going to be
Please
right
comment.
here there. You know what I mean? Give us some interaction there for sure. We'd love to hear from you there for sure. Until next time, again, there you are watching the Crash Out. This your boy, Omega, and always we got your boy.
TIO VILE, man.
For sure. Y'all stay up. One love.